Welcome to Crack Pack. My name is Andrew, and today we're cracking open Kaldheim. So let's get cracking. Our first card today is a replicated ring token, followed by a glacial floodplain for our land. Then we have Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, which for 4 green is a 6/6 legendary creature with trample and haste. Reads, if you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. And if an opponent would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kind of counters on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. Alright, the Praetor already was not expecting to see this at all in any of the Kaldheim packs that I have. I have had this on the other side of the table from me many times, and it always does work, whether you are running it to be explosive encounters or you're running it to just shut down your opponent's counter strategies. It's going to hurt, and if you're just using it as a big bashy creature, it's also going to work. Trample, haste, 6/6 is really hard to predict and to handle as soon as it comes down. It's a threat as soon as it hits the table that your opponent has to interact with quickly or they're going to get overrun. And the thing is, if they are a counters matter deck, it's really hard to deal with this then, because you are having the effectiveness of their main strategy. The other place this goes is in decks that want counters, right? So you're getting twice as many. So your +1/+1 counter lines are now just bonkers. You're getting, 2 instead of 1 or 4 instead of 2, right? And your creatures are just getting pumped massively. Or if you're looking at it, this just says counters. It doesn't say it has to be +1/+1 counters. So it could be flying counters, indestructible counters, stun counters. So this just makes any kind of counters better. If you can find if you could find a way to have this in a deck with stun counters, which was primarily in blue and a little bit in white recently, this would put twice the stun counters on a permanent. Because it doesn't say it has to be on permanents you control. It just says that if you are placing, if you're the one putting the counters on, you put twice as many. So this could double stun counters. I think it doubles loyalty counters as well. So this goes great in Planeswalkers and Super Friends. All right, now the brewing wheels are turning. I've got a few ideas. Where are you running Vorinclex? I know that this is still a very popular creature, so where are you running Vorinclex Monstrous Raider right now? Let me know in the comments below. Next we have Avalanche Caller, Frenzied Raider, Rune of Sustenance, Pilfering Hawk, Way Down, Draugr Thought Thief, Wings of the Cosmos, Glittering Frost, Raise the Draugr, Brine Barrow Intruder, Goldmaw Champion, Craven Hulk, and Codespell Cleric to round out the pack. Now for today's Pack 1 Pick 1, I am going to give it to Vorinclex Monstrous Raider with the idea of either going very big stompy creatures or going for a counters line. There are a few counter lines that I can think of, but primarily it's +1/+1 counters. So, doubling the number of +1/+1 counters you get on your creatures is going to be really effective. The fact that this can also slow your opponent's +1/+1 counter lines, since I want to say there was 2 or 3 different lines that relied on them, that's going to help all the more. And, technically there are a few other cards that just put counters on things, and if they only put 1, half of 1 rounded down is 0, so that stops those. Like, what was it? Yesterday we got the Tyrite Sanctum, which puts a indestructible counter on something. Well, if your opponent's trying to do that, it's only putting 1, so half of 1 rounded down is 0, so they aren't getting that indestructible counter. So this can even just be a good utility piece to prevent your opponents from doing counter things. But really, I'm picking this for a +1/+1 counter line. That's my pick. There are other good cards in this pack list, so if you have a different pick one than me, let me know in the comments below. But that's all for today, so thank you for cracking along with me. Be sure to check back tomorrow to crack open another pack.